Hi and welcome everybody. My name is Essen from C21 Innovative Realty. And today I have a guest on the show. His name is Mohammad Shabbir from Vanguard Financial. And Mohammad will talk to us about some of the financial aid that's being available through the government. And I know a lot of you guys have questions and on who qualifies, who's eligible, what kind of financial aid is there, and who can we approach, who can we call. So Mohammed's going to help us answer these questions. And together we want to be of service to you guys out there as much as we can. So I'll ask Mohammed a few questions, and then Mohammed, if you can please, help us out, that would be really appreciated.
Yeah, I'll be happy to help.
Awesome. So first question is, in terms of just let's say the individual Canadian, tell us about some of the financial aids that's available and how can they take advantage, and how do they know if they even qualify?
Okay. So I'm going to go over the stuff that is there for individuals. The first item that everybody's been hearing about is the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, which is the CERB. And for the time being, it's what's taken over the EI that the government had previously. Then there's the second part, which is a child tax increase. Then there's a one-time GST payment that individuals are going to receive. Student loan interest payments. There's the RIF minimum payment reduction from the government, and the mortgage deferrals. So I'll go through each one. I'll go through the simpler one first. So the first item is the child tax. The child tax is calculated based on your family income. So this is, it could change depending on your family income. So the government said that they're going to be issuing a $300 increase for the child tax benefit for the year 2019-2020. This is based on your 2019 income, which is paid from 2020 onwards. Then there's the GST tax credit. This also is based on your family income. So if your family income is high, you might not see it, but there will be a $400 one-time payment for single individuals and a $600 payment for couples. This payment will start from April 9th, and it will come with your normal GST benefit that you normally receive every 3 months. Both the child tax and the GST credit, there's no action required from the taxpayer. It's automatically going to be applied based on your income. The one thing that the government does say is that please make sure to file your taxes as soon as possible if you're expecting these benefits. The next item is the student loan payment deferrals. The repayment for student loans have been delayed from March 30th until September 30th, 2020. During this time, there's not going to be any automatic withdrawals from your account. There's not going to be any interest accumulation, and there's no action needed on your end. It's automatically stopped from the government side. The next item is the RIF withdrawals, which is the Registered Retirement Income Fund. As individuals who are above 71 who have converted their RRSP into a RIF, they're required to take a minimum amount every year. The government has reduced this minimum amount by 25% so that individuals who don't want to take out the minimum, they want to take out less than that, they're able to. Then the other item that is there is the mortgage deferral. You're allowed, through your bank, you're able to defer your mortgage payments for 6 months. This is something that people need to think twice about before they do it, because the interest will accumulate. And from my understanding, a lot of the banks, what they're doing is they're adding the interest payment to your loan amount. So essentially, when you do start repaying your mortgage, you're going to be paying interest on interest. So it will add up. So, but it is there for individuals who want to, have more cash flow and delay their payments for up to 6 months. Then the biggest ticket item is the Canada Emergency Response Benefit. That's what's going to be paying for a lot of the individuals who've lost their jobs. I believe I read that the government had received 2.5 million EI requests in the last month. Out of that, they've processed 1 million. So the Canada Emergency Response Benefit, what it is essentially it's a temporary income support, which is of $500 a week, and it will be going for up to 16 weeks, which is around 4 months. This $500 a week you would receive in terms of, it goes back from March 15 till now. Who qualifies for this benefit? So one of the main criteria, there's 4 main criteria. So first criteria is you must be residing in Canada and be at least 15 years old. So I've got a lot of inquiries from people who are not living in Canada, who do pay tax on their Canadian sourced income because they're resident for tax purposes. However, for this, they said that you must be residing in Canada. So if you're not in Canada, you're not eligible for this benefit. The next item is, this is for individuals who have stopped working because of COVID-19 and have not voluntarily quit their jobs. So if your company is still operating and they want you to come in and you, by your choice, decide to quit your job, you wouldn't be eligible for this benefit. Then the next item is you must have an income of at least $5,000 in 2019 or in the 12 months preceding your application. 5,000, this could be self-employment income, this could be employment income. This benefit, everybody's qualified for it in terms of like, you don't have to be contributing towards EI to be eligible. So those who are self-employed, you know, they would also be eligible. The fourth item is that you have to expect to be without employment or self-employment income for at least 14 consecutive days in the initial 4-week periods of the application. And then for the period after, you expect to have no employment income. There's some more items. Essen, do you have any questions for the time being for what I've
Could you explain that last item again about, you know, when they receive the payment? Just kind of elaborate on that, please.
When they receive the payment?
Yeah, like how long do they have to wait again to receive payments if they apply for the $500 a week program?
So $500 a week, the government said they will process payments within 10 days. So they should accept a payment, you know, after 10 days of their application.
Yeah.
Of course, they're not taking applications yet. It's going to be started from Monday. And the way the government has done it is that they've kind of like rationed it off based on your month of birth.
Okay.
So I'll share a link with you where you can share with your viewers. And basically, it's like those who are born in January, February, March apply on April 6th. You know, April, May, June apply on the 7th. So because the government's expecting a lot of people applying, so they said, you know, to make sure the website doesn't crash, that's how they've done it.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they're saying that the payments will be received within 10 days of application.
Okay, well, great.
I want to go a little bit more in details about the emergency response benefit. Sure. Sometimes I see there's a lot of misinformation out there. One of the things about the emergency response benefit is that you have to be impacted by COVID-19 to be eligible. So let's say, for example, you had stopped working before the coronavirus, the epidemic happened, and now you're trying to apply for COVID-19, you wouldn't be eligible, apply for the CERB benefit, you wouldn't be eligible for that. You may be eligible for EI, and those who have applied for EI will continue getting it, and they may be rolled over to the CERB benefit, depending on, you know, how long they're out of their jobs. And also, you know, the government is tweaking things as they get feedback from the taxpayers in general. So the, you know, the other like frequently asked questions I get regarding the CERB benefit, I get a lot of international students ask me, do we qualify, you know, because they're not PR. So for that, like based on my research, they are eligible, as well as temporary foreign workers, and their eligibility criteria is the same as everybody else. So the 4 items, you know, residing in Canada, having the 5,000 income. Now, the next question I get a lot is, what should I apply for? Should I apply for CERB or should I apply for EI? Will I get, you know, if my EI benefit is going to be more than $500 a week, will I still get only $500 for the CERB, or will I get the higher amount? And vice versa, if I'm supposed to get less for EI, will I get more under the CERB benefit? Based on the Government of Canada's website, what they've said is that it's a flat amount of $500 a week. So for CERB, whether you were supposed to get less than 500 per week or you were supposed to get more than 500 per week based on your EI, 55%, you're going to get the $500 a week. So in terms of what you should apply for, most likely most individuals are going to be applying for the CERB benefit as compared to the EI.
Okay.
Another question I get is, can I have other income while receiving the CERB benefit? And the answer is no. You must have stopped working and be without income to be eligible for this benefit.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah,
That's some really good information. I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from that. And what we can do is we can talk about now the businesses, right? How are small businesses being impacted?
yeah, sure.
What do they qualify for? How can they contact the government? What are some details about that that you can share with us?
All right. So the first item that that the government has introduced, which is welcomed by the business community, is the 75% emergency wage subsidy for a maximum of $847 a week per employee. The qualification for this wage subsidy is that the businesses have to have at least 30% of their revenue drop in the established periods that the business is comparing. So the first period that the government is comparing is between March 15th to April 11th. So based on March 15th to April 11th of 2020, it would be compared to the income from March 15th to April 11th of 2019. If your business has had a 30% reduction in revenue, you would be eligible for this wage subsidy. The second period is April 12th to May 9th, and then May 10th to June 6th.
Yep.
So this is to help individuals stay employed with their businesses and to help the businesses, pay their bills while keeping employees on their payroll.
Yep.
In terms of how to apply for this benefit, you would be applying through the My Business Account portal. It's very important right now to have your, My Business Account, My CRA account, that's for individuals, set up, because setting it up takes some time too. The government will mail you a 4-digit code, and it can take around 10 days. So those who haven't done it already, you guys need to make sure you register for those. The second item for businesses is the work sharing program. That's been extended from 28 weeks to 76 weeks. That one, not a lot of people it's gonna apply to a lot of people, so I won't go into much detail about that. The third item is the business credit availability program. This is basically the government has taken $40 billion of additional support, and the way the government is doing it is they're dealing with the financial institution. They're dealing originally with the Business Development Bank of Canada and Export Development Canada, and what they're basically doing is they're letting financial institutions give more line of credits and loans to their customers, and the government is backing a lot of those loans. So
Okay.
so it's going to be easier for some businesses to get loans as compared to it was before the COVID-19 situation. And then the fourth one that a lot of people also hear about is the Canada Emergency Business Account. This is a $40,000 interest-free loan for small businesses and not-for-profit institutions. And the amazing part of this $40,000 interest-free loan is that $10,000 of this loan is eligible for complete forgiveness if the business pays off this loan by December 31st, 2022. So essentially, like if you take this loan today, you pay $30,000 back to your bank by December 31st, 2022, you only have to pay $30,000. The $10,000 is forgiven.
Okay.
Also, there's no principal payment that's required. So up until December 31st, 2022, you don't accumulate any interest. Also, you're not required to pay any principal back. Of course, it's recommended if you have cash flow, but you're not required. The other thing is that after that period, then different banks have different rules, and it's not too clear on what interest rate the banks are going to offer after December 31st. But as things come up, I'll be sure to share it with everybody. And one part for this Canada Emergency Business Account that some small businesses might not be happy to hear is that the qualification for this loan is that your business must demonstrate that they paid around between $50,000 to $1 million in payroll in 2019. And many businesses might have less than 50,000, and unfortunately, they wouldn't be eligible for this loan at the current moment. maybe things might change. And, as I was telling my clients too, if you're not eligible, make sure you make sure your voices are heard. You share with your MP, you tweet about it, because I do believe there is a lot of businesses, some restaurant owners who make less than 50K, and this would be a significant help for them.
Yeah. So this criteria about the 50K, does that apply only when you're applying for this $40,000 loan, or also for the wage subsidy, or the two different things?
They're two different items.
Okay.
Yeah. And the business loan you would apply for through your financial institution. I've been checking all the different banks and their websites. So almost, I would say all of them are doing it completely electronically.
Okay.
And from some banks, they haven't given dates. I do believe CIBC's website that's said that their applications should be ready for April 7th.
Okay.
So you would apply directly through your business banking online.
Got it. Okay, and my last question was regarding personal taxes. We've heard a lot about, tax deadlines being pushed back further. So if you can shed some light on that, and also any tax items that people can take advantage of today.
Sure. So in terms of any tax credits or things of that nature to help your total taxes payable become less, there hasn't been any introductions of anything like that, except for the higher child tax and the GST credit. The government has changed some deadlines. So for the personal tax year, normally it's due on April 30th. They've extended that deadline till June 1st. So you get some time extra to get your documents together and be able to file your taxes. They've also changed the deadline for making your balance owing payment, or for individuals who make installments during the year. They've also delayed those. So usually for your personal tax deadline and your installments, they've extended it till September 1st, 2020, without incurring any interest or penalties. So you have to file your tax return by June 1st. However, you can pay the balance owing by September 1st. If you're getting a refund, I would recommend you file it sooner, so you get some money in. For self-employed individuals, usually their tax filing deadline is June 15th, and they haven't changed that, so their deadline is still June 15th. However, the payment due date has been updated to September 1st. For corporations, corporations whose taxes were due between March 18th and June 1st are now extended until June 1st. So if your tax returns are due between that period, your new deadline is June 1st. And then corporations whose tax return are due, June 30th or after June 1st, they have the same deadline. And then also for your part one of the income tax that's due between March 18th and September 1st, it's all due September 1st. So if you have any corporate taxes that are due, corporate tax installments that you have to pay, they're all due between March 18th and that are due between March 18th and September 1st are now due September 1st. And then the final item that they've changed is the GST, HST returns. So some businesses that have any HST payable on or after March 27, 2020, they will have no interest applied if they pay their balances by June 2020. So businesses that have some GST money that they have to pay, they have until June 2020 to pay. There hasn't been any delay in terms of your PD7A payments, which are your source deduction payments that you pay to the CRA.
No, that's some amazing information, Mohammad Shabbir. Thanks for sharing that. We'll definitely share some of the portals that you mentioned, the links on this post as well, so people can go directly to apply and register. And if you guys want some more information, do follow Mohammad on Instagram, on social media. He's always putting up some really nice posts regarding the current situation, how you can benefit and take advantage. Thank you so much, Mohammad, and hopefully we'll be in touch, and stay safe and stay strong.
Thank you.
All right,
It was a pleasure talking.